my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Alright, we've got a video today covering a few topics related to Diablo 4. First of all, from Rock Paper Shotgun, Diablo 4 game director Louis Barriga was let go from Blizzard. How this will affect Diablo 4 is yet to be seen. Definitely not good in terms of the health of the development. It's unknown who is going to be taking over. A few other people were also let go. It seems to all be related to this scandal that's been unfolding. How this will play out is anyone's guess. It seems to be snowballing and getting really out of control. Who knows how this will affect Blizzard and their franchises long term. Not gonna speculate here. Next up we have this. I came across it a couple days ago. There was a video, it's about 30 minutes long, of gameplay footage. I'm going to play that for you guys, give you some commentary on it. And it looks very similar to Diablo 3, more so than I remember from any of the previous gameplay footage videos. It has a lot of sort of mixed feedback, maybe a little more negative than positive. So let's go ahead and jump into that here. This video is from Tube Game Video. Go ahead, check out his channel, subscribe. And I don't know where he got it from, but it seems to be from a recent build of the game because it has the 4 announced characters in it, with some footage that I have not seen before. So let's check it out.
You will not take it from me.
I do like the blood spray. The items dropping sounds very similar, looks very similar to Diablo 3. The thing that stands out the most to me is just the way the monsters move, and it could be due to an early build of the game, but it looks very much like Diablo 3. And the way that the character attacks and kind of keeps moving, it just doesn't feel right. And the other thing I noticed is the way that the enemies flash white when you hit them. That was another thing from Diablo 3, that it just doesn't look how a Diablo game should, in my opinion. It just doesn't feel right. See, every time an enemy gets hit, they just flash this bright white color, and it just pulls you out of the game. I really don't like the combat numbers either. You know, I don't need to see numbers in my Diablo game. And hopefully it's disableable.
Help! Someone, please!
But I notice every single time a monster takes damage how they just suddenly flash white. It just really pulls you right out of what's happening. The other thing I noticed in the course of the first time I watched this is I don't know if they haven't added death animations yet, because it's an early build, but everything just kind of falls over and the ragdoll physics just don't look very well done. It could be because it's an early build of the game. It's hard to say. Here we have some Robe footage. The way she shoots her bow, just it bothers me, and maybe they haven't added in more varied animations, but I don't know why she's shooting it sideways. That's not how you would shoot a bow. And maybe if there was a skill that did that, it would be one thing, but that it's her normal auto attack. It just looks ridiculous. The cooldowns just feel really out of place in a Diablo game. If a cooldown lasts more than half a second in Diablo, it shouldn't be there. Here we have what looks like some sort of boss fight or mini boss. The mechanics of which look like your typical World of Warcraft. Don't stand in the damage spot and you'll be fine. I don't understand why they're bringing that concept into Diablo. It's fine if they have abilities that do that, but why is this large skeletal guy not just in your face smashing you with his giant hammer stick with a wheel on it? Just really anticlimactic. The animations, I don't know why those guys climbed out of the ground. It didn't look right. And maybe they just haven't fleshed out all these animations yet, but you can see when they die, it just looks like they're taking a nap. You know, the game's already rated mature, just put as much gore in it as you can get away with. The monster AI in this just seems like they're just programmed to run to whatever location the character is in, so it just makes them look really dumb.
I must wait a moment.
Look Look at how long these cooldowns are. That first skill is like a 20-second cooldown. And maybe the tooltips are placeholders right now, but they look like garbage. I really hope they're planning on adding death animations, because the way that the monsters die, it doesn't even look like it would be satisfying to kill them.
I need more fury.
And the way that they flash every time they get hit, it just really irritates me.
I'm out of fury.
And I noticed in this footage, it appears like there's some sort of Hopstep that they've added to the game. Pretty much all this sorcerer or sorceress does is Hopstep around and cast spells when she's being chased. So I don't know if it has cooldown. This ability just visually is very... It's a lot of noise. Like it doesn't look satisfying to use. It's just your get out of jail free card on a 20-second cooldown. So you can be a glass cannon and purposefully run into a group of mobs and get surrounded, and then just activate this ability, and it seems like it makes you invincible. Maybe it has a longer cooldown, maybe it's the one that is like a 1.5 minute cooldown.
I'm not ready yet. I'm low on mana. I need more time.
Okay. It's like seizure, activate seizure mode. And maybe I'm being a little too critical on a game that is still a couple years, year or two away from release, but it's definitely lacking the finer details that made Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 great. And I see a lot of similarities between its current state and Diablo 3, which doesn't give me a whole lot of hope that they are just still in development on those aspects or areas of the game. A lot of the skill development as well just seems like it takes more from World of Warcraft than Diablo, with really high cooldown abilities that essentially make you invulnerable. I can't tell if this is a male or female character either. We got some Druid gameplay here. I do really like the way the Twister looks. It does look like a tornado.
I'm not ready yet.
The Druid does seem very interesting in the way that he plays in this game, and switching back and forth between forms. I do like that design.
It's too late.
Just look at the way that these enemies die. They just lay down. Okay, that guy got blown into chunks. I do like that. I appreciate that. I want more of that. But then that guy is just like squatting down or kneeling after he died. Oh great, they kept in the laser thing. That's just one of the laziest design choices for elite monsters. They just put a spinning damage circle on the ground. Like what does that add to the game? That adds nothing to the game and just breaks immersion. it just makes the game feel like bullet hell. At least they're not purple. There we see the Hopstep again. If there's PvP in this game, that's gonna break PvP for melee. You'll constantly be chasing. I don't get that ability that creates copies. So it looks like we have a melee rogue, dual-wielding daggers. It looks better, the ability looks better to me than any of the bow abilities I've seen so far.
We got separated, and my friends were cut down. It's just me now. I won't last long. Please help. I won't survive alone. More are coming.
The wolf AI looks pretty bad here too. One thing about pets in Diablo 2 is they kind of wander around. They stay nearby you, but they kind of wander around randomly. These wolves, when they're not in combat, just follow the same path directly behind your character. It just, you know, it's another thing that breaks immersion. It just makes them seem like they're coded generically. Oh, my eyes.
That needs more time.
The amount of damage that the sorceress takes in melee, it seems very low. This game seems very forgiving. At whatever level this character is.
I do not have enough.
Okay, let's watch the death animation on these giant tree guys.
Anyone
They just fall apart.
Over there! Help me fight this thing!
It's very, very anticlimactic. You would think it would
No one man.
have some sort of like spiritual explosion where whatever entity is possessing it or animating it would come exploding out of its body, but no, it just turns into weeds. Kind of rolls away. Or if you kill it with fire, you'd think it would have a different death animation. Even Path of Exile has that. Yes, you watch the way the wolves trail in combat. Okay, see. Seems to be the druid's ultimate ability, which visually it does look cool. I like the knockback from the boulders. That spell, I really don't like that spell. Okay, so it is a female character. I know they were trying to make this game darker, but it didn't mean that they had to make it look like everyone was wearing peasant robes. Like, you can still make the armor look cool and have a Diablo game. I remember reading in one of their design blogs that they were trying to make all the armor look realistic and functional. So I think that's just another word for bad.
I need more man.
Look at how they die. There's just a lot of
I need more man.
fallen, you know, literally just fallen. It just looks like they've fallen down and they can't get up. Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up.
I
Like, at least make them lay in a pool of blood like Diablo 2. That would be pretty sweet, actually. You know, they just gush blood everywhere, and then when they get revived or resurrected by the shaman, animate all the blood going back into them, like as they're rising up like that. That would be pretty sweet.
enough man.
Yeah, I've been doing a playthrough of Diablo 1, and one of the things that's just blown me away about that game is how good the death animations are. It just feels so satisfying to kill things. Everything dies in its own unique, gory way. I just want to see more flash on these skills. Like, it just looks like the barbarian's throwing mud on everybody. The gore there is good. Give me more of that. It is cool how you can carry like 4 or 5 weapons now. So you no longer have to choose between dual wielding or carrying a big two-hander. You can just do it all. Hopefully he gains the stats from all the weapons. Usually it feels like the barbarian needs that since he's so reliant on weapon damage. Especially early on when leveling. You typically feel weaker than a spellcaster when you're a melee physical damage character in these types of games. So maybe having 4 weapons will give him enough of a stat boost that it won't feel like a handicap. Let me just close my eyes for a minute. You don't want to have a seizure. Okay.
I'm not ready yet.
I will say I'm happy I haven't seen any channeling laser skills yet. Doesn't mean they're not in the game, but I haven't seen it yet, so it gives me hope.
I do not have enough mana.
But yeah, how does a sorceress just get to go in and out of melee and not take damage? Like, she gets completely surrounded and hasn't even lost half. Okay, she just lost half of her health because she just gets to jump around everywhere, and these hits have such a long wind-up time that she doesn't take damage.
I do not have enough mana.
Carlock and never ending. This dude is just taking all the damage. Oh my gosh, he's survived so long, her cooldown's back up. Does seem like there's a lot of variety of monsters in the game. And it looks like we're almost at the end here. So there's the dismounting, one of the dismounting skills. I really hope that they don't have microtransactions for mounts. That would just be really kind of silly. So, alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching. remember to give them the D.